Hi, and welcome back to Fort Smith Focus. My name is Josh Bufink. I'm the Public Relations Manager for the City of Fort Smith. And today we have a special guest with us, our very own City Administrator, Carl Geffken. Welcome, Carl. Glad you're here.
Thank you, Josh. Pleasure to be here.
We had a survey online, and there were several subjects on there to choose from. And one of the top subjects that you all wanted to hear about was our sales tax and how that money's spent in the city. So I thought, who better to ask than our very own City Administrator, who runs the operations of the city. And Carl, you've been here since 2016, is that right?
Yes, I have, May of 2016.
Yeah, and he has extensive background in government. We're excited to have you and excited to hear some of your answers today. So with that, we're going to dive right into some of these questions. The first question I have is, what is the current sales tax rate here in Fort Smith?
The current sales tax rate here in Fort Smith is 9.5%. 6.5% for the state of Arkansas, 2% for the city of Fort Smith, and 1% for Sebastian County.
So that 2%, what does that entail for the city? How is that money spent?
So currently, the 2% that comes to the city of Fort Smith, 1% is for streets, bridges, and associated drainage. So if you're on Gov Delivery, and please, I hope you are on our Gov Delivery system to receive notifications, you'll hear about projects that our engineering department is putting out. And that is resurfacing of our roads, doing new ditch work to alleviate some of the new flooding that we've been having. And also to make sure that, whole projects are done. If you've been on Lee Avenue, the horseshoe is no longer there, it just goes straight through. That was a project performed by our engineering department. The remaining 1% is split up in 4 different ways. 1/8% goes to our police department. 1/8% goes to our fire department. 1/8% goes to our parks department, capital projects only. The remaining 5/8% goes to consent decree projects in our water utilities department, and that's the city's 2%.
Nice. And you said, how much is the county tax? How much is that?
The county tax is 1%. The 1%, which was our voters recently reapproved, is split amongst all of the municipalities in Sebastian County. So the county receives a portion, Fort Smith receives the largest portion because it's allotted according to population. So the city of Fort Smith receives approximately 78% of that 1%.
And a lot of that goes to public safety. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That money we receive from the countywide sales tax goes to the general fund. And the general fund supports the police department and the fire department. Yes, they do have that 1/8% sales tax, but that does not cover all of the expenses for both of those departments. And that portion of the countywide sales tax that the city of Fort Smith receives that you approved funds our police department, fire department, and then other administrative activities. But by far, the majority of it does go to police and fire.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add about the sales tax in general?
Probably no more than 50% of all sales tax is paid by Sebastian County or Fort Smithians. The remaining 50% is paid for by people that come into Sebastian County, that come into the city of Fort Smith and use our roads, use our services. God forbid they need some of our public safety. All of that comes together that this is the way that they pay for the services they use that are provided by the city of Fort Smith.
And thank you, Carl. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Fort Smith Focus. On the next episode, you're going to hear about streets and street repair, so I really hope that you stick around for that. You can always follow us on Facebook. You can get, like Carl mentioned, updates from the city through Gov Delivery. Just go to fortsmithar.gov/updates. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode of Fort Smith Focus. And remember, we are Arkansas's trailblazing city.